Nestled in the crook of the Okete hills was a village time had not forgotten, a place where tales were carved into memory like patterns in the red clay earth. The villagers of Okete lived simply, their days marked by the rhythm of drums, market chatter, and the songs of birds overhead. But among them lived a man whose presence stirred more curiosity than the coming of a rare eclipse, Dangana, the reclusive hunter. Dangana lived alone, his home sitting at the edge of the forest, a line between man's domain and the spirit's playground. Each morning he disappeared into the green silence, returning with game, herbs, and stories he never told. Whispers claimed he could speak to animals, that spirits guided his path. But no one dared ask him directly. He was a mystery cloaked in leather and shadow. One market day, as baskets overflowed with mangoes and goat meat sizzled on open flames, the air grew thick with rumours. "He must have a wife hidden somewhere," said Mamatawa, the fish seller. "No man lives that quietly without a woman's hand guiding him." "Maybe he married a forest spirit," laughed a young boy. But laughter quickly died. In Okete, spirits weren't to be mocked. Then came the storm. The skies roared, lightning danced, and rain battered the earth. Amid the chaos, a young herder claimed to have seen a woman, tall, glowing, with hair like night, slip into the forest near Dangana's hut. No one believed him, but unease settled like fog. After the storm, something changed. Dangana smiled more. He began buying more food, finer fabrics, and once even a delicate comb. He came to market at dusk now, when fewer people asked questions. Yet those who saw him noticed his eyes glowed like he held a secret the hills themselves could not contain. Dangana's younger brother, Amechi, returned from the city with tales of trade and riches. But his return turned into an obsession to uncover the mystery of his brother's strange joy. One evening, he crept near Dangana's home and heard laughter. A woman's laughter, lilting and soft, like wind chimes stirred by a gentle breeze. Amaichi burst in, unable to hold back his curiosity. There she was, beautiful, regal, her skin luminous. She smiled calmly. "I am Adama," she said, "and I have been Dangana's wife for 3 moons." Amaichi was speechless. He'd expected a spirit, not a woman of warmth and grace. But there was more to her than flesh and bone. Adama's story unravelled like woven cloth. Daughter of the forest chief, she was chosen by the spirits to guard the sacred paths. She could walk among both humans and spirit folk. She had seen Dangana many times, how he respected the forest, asked permission before hunting, left gifts at sacred stones. The spirits whispered to her, "He is worthy." So she came to him in a dream first, then in person. Their union was quiet, sacred, and meant to stay hidden until the time was right. When the news spread, the village buzzed like a disturbed hive. Was she truly human? Had Dangana bewitched her? The chief summoned them. Adama entered the village square not with fear but with quiet dignity. Her eyes held the wisdom of generations. The elders consulted the oracle. A test was decreed. Dangana must enter the forest on the night of the moon's eclipse and return with the spirit stone guarded by the forest itself, alone. If he returned, their union was blessed. If not. That night, Dangana entered the forest with nothing but a blade and a prayer. The trees whispered, roots moved, and eyes watched. At the centre, he met the guardian, a lion with eyes like stars. He bowed, offered a gift of his most prized hunting charm, and asked for the stone. The lion spoke, "Love has softened your edge but sharpened your soul." It let him pass. As the rooster crowed, Dangana appeared, stone in hand. The people gasped, The chief stood and raised his staff. The spirits have spoken, their love is true. A great feast followed, drums sang, feet danced, and elders wept with joy. Dangana and Adama were crowned not just as husband and wife, but as the bridge between worlds. Years passed, their story became legend. Children were taught to honour nature, to listen before speaking, to love beyond appearances. And if you walk near the forest's edge at dusk, you may hear two voices, one deep, one melodic, reminding the world that even in the wildest of places, love plants its roots. The years that followed were unlike any in Okete's memory. Conflicts between man and nature ceased. Hunters laid down snares and picked up flutes, learning songs the trees remembered. Farmers spoke to the earth before sowing. Even the mischievous forest spirits once feared now played gently with the children who sang by the riverside. Adama taught the women the language of herbs, how to use them not only to heal bodies, but to calm angry hearts. Dangana trained young men not just to hunt, but to understand when not to, teaching patience over pride. But not all welcomed peace. From a distant village came Khalifa, a proud warrior with eyes only for Adama. He claimed he came to pay respects, but his gaze lingered too long, and his words dripped with hidden poison. He spread seeds of doubt. Why should a forest princess live as a villager's wife? Shouldn't she be queen over many? Adama, with calm grace, invited Khalifa to dine with her and Dangana. That evening, as stars winked overhead, Khalifa was served a meal he could not eat. Every grain turned to ash in his mouth. The spirits had spoken. Khalifa fled that night, never to return. Time moved as quietly as the river, and joy returned again. Adama gave birth to twins, a girl and a boy, each marked by mystery. The girl, Anuli, had eyes that changed with the light. The boy, Kato, could calm animals with a hum. They grew like wildflowers, free, wise beyond years, and beloved by all. The villagers called them children of balance, for they bore traits of both spirit and human. Dangana proposed something new, a council not of age, but of wisdom. Elders, youths, women and hunters alike now had voice. Even the quiet, the outcasts, the dreamers, all were welcome. Adama blessed this gathering, calling it the Circle of Roots. Under their guidance, Okete became a beacon. Nearby villages came to learn. Old feuds were ended. Trade flourished. Songs of Okete carried far into the hills. As all things do, even love must return to its source. One soft evening, when the wind smelled of rain and memory, Dangana and Adama took their final walk into the forest. No fanfare, no goodbye. But the forest bloomed that night. Flowers no one had seen before bloomed under moonlight, and a soft music hummed through the trees. In the morning, 2 cloaks lay folded at the base of the sacred tree, one of leather, one of spirit cloth. The village knew what it meant. They had not died. They had become one with the forest, and so, each year, under the oldest baobab, the people of Okete gather. The tale is told again, not just as history, but as guidance. Children listen wide-eyed, elders nod softly, travellers leave offerings. Some say the wind itself whispers their names. Others claim to have seen a hunter and a woman in white walking the forest paths, smiling. But all agree on this: where love meets respect and courage embraces mystery, the wildest things can bloom into the most beautiful truths.